either buffalo chicken or like a chicken bacon ranch pizza is usually pretty nice with it. What about you?
I just like cheese. Lots of cheese.
Really?
Mhm. Like I'll eat
It's
stuff.
a waste.
I'll eat stuff with other toppings on it, but like I'm not like picky. You know?
Oh. Someone posted, I think it was Joe, posted a video on Facebook that was like why people that eat pepperoni pizza are stupid.
Mhm.
And then they went when people say that cheese is their favorite or like what toppings do you want on the pizza and they go just cheese. It's like you're being stupid. Cheese is one of the 3 necessary components in order for it to qualify as pizza. Without it, it wouldn't be. Yeah. I wish that you had gotten me like 2 slices of like chicken bacon ranch pizza or something from Franco's on the way over.
I walked in and it smelled so good. You know, and like you walk in like Italian places and it's just like that good like I don't know pizza smell.
Yeah, they got the oven going.
Mm-hmm.
There's usually some small guy on steroids, like short guy, but like on steroids. Just like doing shit with an oven with a nice fire going in the background.
There was a guy like that too.
Yeah, that's the guy that I'm referencing. Yeah. Anyway, I am BB. I am joined by BB. Together we are BB, and this is BBcast. Just kidding. I am Case, aka Whitey. Welcome to Palecast. This will probably be episode 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's episode 8. I'm joined by my lovely girlfriend, Ashley. Ashley, say hello, please.
Hey, everyone. What's up? I'm BB.
BB1625 in Twitch chat. I actually just started trying streaming. I think you said that you popped in for like 3 seconds last night and then got out. Streaming Bloodborne. That game is really frustrating and annoying. You watched me play for an hour today. Thank you for that.
I didn't really watch.
Oh, yeah, you whipped out your little detective game and it was done. I was like, I'm playing an hour of Bloodborne and making you watch. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
And I still haven't made any progress because...
That game stinks.
Yeah, because that game stinks pretty much. Do you think that we could stream that? Would you want to be a part of that or no?
That game?
Yeah. If I find the first campfire?
I guess, yeah. Why not?
Alright.
I could just, like, make stupid comments.
Yeah, you and Brett can make fun of me.
Mm-hmm.
He trolled me last night sitting in the room. He made the name Rotten Idiot. And he was just talking shit like 3 feet away from me.
And you just didn't know.
What are you drinking?
I'm drinking Relaxed Riesling. A wine. White wine.
What kind is it? Like a Pinot? That's like your favorite, right?
It's a Riesling. It's kind of like a Pinot, but like less. Pinot's more dry, and this is more sweet.
Oh, Riesling is a style? I thought that was the company.
No, the company is Relax.
Oh, okay.
And it comes in like, there's like a red, a pink, a Pinot, and then this. And the pink is the one that I really like from that little pink bottle.
Mm-hmm.
That's a rosé though.
Oh, rosé.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. And I have my favorite stag, the red stag on the rocks. Get ready for my podcast. I'm probably going to be asking you like a lot of questions that I already know the answer to. It's going to seem fucking stupid, but you know, it's for the purpose of making something. All right, this is it. This is time. This is it. We've been talking about this for like 5 months now, and it is one of the greatest stories that we have. Beth wishes. This is it. You've been telling me to do this.
Like Christmas
dinner, yeah. I came over and I told it to your family and stuff. Do you just do you want to set it up and I'll tell the story?
Or should I set it up from the church, like the way beginning, or
just,
like?
I guess maybe when we woke up.
Oh,
talk about like we heard it and then woke up and you showed it to me.
Okay. I don't know how much I want to, like, do you want me to just say there was a speech?
Fuck it, I don't, nah, it's alright. You can say it.
Okay.
You can say it.
Well, we went to a wedding a few months ago for one of Case's friends. It was a really awesome wedding. It was, like, beautiful, and the place was, like, amazing. We had so much fun, but, like, so, you know, usually when you're the maid of honor, like, it's either a sister, or, like, a best friend, or, like, a really close family friend that, like, you've known for years. Like, I was the maid of honor at my best friend's wedding, and, like, you know, I wrote a speech and she cried and, like, stuff like that, you know? So you kind of have to put, like, some amount of, like, thought into it, you know? Like, Even though mine was short, it was good, right? Mine was not bad, right? The one
No, I
that
liked
did?
it a lot. I remember when we were at that wedding, we hit like 3 in a row,
Yeah.
and the one that you were the maid of honor at was like right in the middle.
Mhm.
And I remember, like, I would be if I ever had to do it, like I would be freaking the fuck out. And
I couldn't
remember
stop talking about it for like weeks.
for the longest time, and I was like, "Why don't you run it by me and we'll try it out?"
I didn't
You
even
were
want.
like, "Nah."
I was too nervous. Like I just wanted to do it.
But I remember you were up there and you were in the middle of your speech, and I thought that you were doing really good. But I'm just like, I'm looking and I'm like, I can tell,
You could
I
like
know the
tell
way
it
that
in
you were
my
talking.
voice.
And then I heard one of the people at our table go, "Oh my God, she's crying." And I thought that it was you. I thought that you were like crying your eyes, and it turned out to be the bride who was just crying at how beautiful
Thank
the
God.
speech was.
Yeah. So it has to be kind of like, even though if it's short and sweet, it has to be, heartfelt. So like we went to this wedding, so it's like, I think did she go first or did the best
She
man?
went first, yeah.
Okay, so like all it was.
And we
like,
knew that something was up, right? Because like even the DJ was like, "Okay, maybe she'll tell the best man what to say."
Yeah.
And we were like, "What? Why would that be?"
Yeah. It was just so like, do you want to say the speech or do you want me to just?
I'm gonna have to tell. I have to tell the.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I won't say what she said.
Yeah.
I won't say what she said, but it was like, not even like a sentence. Would you say like just a few words?
That does not count as a.
It was like it was like 5 to 10 word, and then he gave a speech that was like amazing.
Killed it, yeah.
Like 5-page essay, like beautiful, like, and it was just like, okay, that blew the other one out of the water already. Like,
but it wasn't, we weren't really like freaking out or whatever.
No.
She went.
We just kind of noticed, like, oh, that was short, but
yeah.
Like, his speech was really good, and hers was just kind of like forgettable, like, like wouldn't remember what she said, like, kind of thing. So anyway, we like went to the reception and like had such a good time, like drank a lot. So we got a hotel like right down the street, and one of his friends drove us back. So whatever, we went to bed, woke up the next day. So we're like, obviously, like, first thing you do in the morning, check your social media. So we're like, oh, look at this picture. Oh, this is so fun from the wedding, like, So then I guess they had a thing that the photographer did that, like, he took all the pictures from the wedding and put it to a song, which is really cool that they can do that in like 24 hours. They actually showed it at the wedding, but you were like smoking a cigar, so you didn't see it.
Yeah, by myself. That was weird.
But what they did was they took all the pictures from the wedding and put it to a song, and they recorded the speech from the maid of honor and the best man, and like put it in this video. So
So we wake up in the morning and we're like
watching it. We're like, wow,
really hungover, right?
Yeah,
and,
like when you're like no sleep, like laughing at
And the two of us, we get like really giggly and stuff. And I just remember hearing the greatest line I've ever heard in my life. It's just Beth wishes and many hopes for the future. And I was like, wait.
Like, I didn't even notice it. You were like, can you skip back a minute?
Can you rewind that? And like, you didn't even know why. And I was like, Beth, like, did she mean best wishes? Like,
I think it was like a nervous thing.
Yeah, like, she was clearly Beth wishes and many hopes for the future. And I was like, what the fuck does that even
like no specific kind of hope.
Yeah.
Like many of
Here,
them. Like,
I have a big bag of hopes for you too.
Like, let me just take my Santa sleigh and bring the bag of hopes to
Deliver
you.
hopes to all the children.
Like, not like, oh, many optimistic hopes or many, like, things for the, it's just like many. Like, just so.
I have, let me tell you about all these hopes I have.
And like, it was just like the fact that we were like so hungover, and then just it being funny. Like, we laughed about this. I think it was like another 8 hours. Because it's like there's
the music too. It's like this really like romantic, like passionate, like happy song, and then just Beth wishes and many hopes for
like a shrug.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I don't know,
it sounds like she shrugged it out, right? Just like whatever,
Like, I have nothing more to say about it.
Like, oh my God. And like the only thing that I thought of, like, you just started, like, if you're up there at the maid of honor and you start off, the first word out of your mouth is Beth instead of best, like, just start over. Like, there's no penalty.
Do a rewind there. Like, it's just,
I'm sorry,
can't start over from that point.
That was the funniest.
And the thing is that we thought was so funny is, like, she obviously, was nervous and, like, didn't want this to be remembered. And now this thing is, like, immortalized in, like, recording forever. Like, the worst moment. Like, okay, I said my speech, but now it's like, no. Like, it's out there. It's on the internet. It's on the wedding video.
We can
like,
watch that whenever we
you
want.
Can, like, Google it and you'll fucking find it. Like, it's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I know that we were talking about that for 8 hours straight.
Like, crying. Like, I think I was actually crying.
Crying, laughing. That was the greatest fucking thing in the world. Alright, that needed to be said. I'm sorry, but that needed to go out.
And, like, every person we tell to laughs, but I feel like they just weren't. Like, if you were just there that day in the mood we were in, the whole ride home.
I forgot
Didn't it take us an hour to drive home and we laughed about it?
Oh, the whole way. Yeah,
like,
the whole way.
Start to finish. Then we came back here, laughed about it.
We'd be quiet for like 30 seconds, and I'd just be like, Beth wishes. Like, what the fuck? And then remember, it's, no, I forgot. I fucked it up. It was, to my favorite sister, and now my new favorite brother, Sherry Kevin. Like that. I forgot about that. Yeah. It started off with a joke, and the DJ had this fucking lame ass like thing preloaded for all of that. And as soon as he did that, I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm tuned out.
Like,
fucked
no.
it. So, like, literally the whole ride home, we were just like, Sherry Kevin.
Even now, sometimes, like, if something happens, we're like, oh, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Kevin. Alright. Sorry, I'm done with that. So upstairs we were just putting on Netflix when we got done when I got done. I died in Dark Souls after like fucking an hour. Not Dark Souls, Bloodborne. And we put on Amadeus, which apparently, I didn't really know this, but apparently you love that movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
I would say that I'm pretty good at watching like the girl movies. I think I'm like, we watched Grease, and you didn't really have to like talk me into it, and like Titanic.
Yeah, Titanic's one of my favorite movies.
And the way that I look at it is, it's like those are like girly movies. There's like a love story. Grease is a fucking musical.
Yeah.
But like those are things that everybody should see, in my opinion. I remember you said a couple times like, "Wow, I can't believe that we're watching like Grease together." You know.
Yeah, I've seen it like hundreds of times.
Yeah, Amadeus so far seems really cool. The movie seems fucking nice. Do you have like a quick top 5 favorite movies that you could run down?
I mean, obviously Titanic is one of my favorites. I love that movie. I like how it's like a love story, but then it also kind of has a historical aspect, even though like we know like a lot of it's not 100% accurate. I know like if you kind of like know the history and know the movie, they kind of made certain stuff obviously more, for audiences, but I love that movie. I've always loved Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I just think it's it's kind of old, it's like from the 80s, but it's still just like a fun, I don't know. I like the idea.
It's a feel-good movie, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a coming-of-age story.
Yeah.
I really like The Parade.
Yeah,
I
that's
absolutely love that part.
I love Disney movies because I'm like a Disney freak.
You exposed me to my favorite.
Oh,
did you think that I was going to make fun of you for your love of Disney?
Yeah.
Like, it gets a little bit out of hand at times. It's alright.
Yeah.
But, Frozen is...
That's probably in one of my top 5.
Fucking amazing.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Who do you think's seen it more, me or you?
Probably you.
No.
Me. Well, just because, like, half of it is babysitting with me.
Yeah.
Like, I've watched it, like, 3 times in one night before.
But oh my God.
Like, not my own choice. When I watch The Twins, we'll watch it, turn it on again. I'm like, guys, we just watched it. Turn it on again. Like, I'm like, they're not even watching it. They're just, like, singing, and I'm like, how do you watch this 3 times? That's how I used to be when I was little, though. Like, you watch a movie, and it's just, like, you just want to rewind, so.
Yeah. I remember when I was a kid, we used to watch, like, just the end of Top Gun. Have you ever seen Top Gun? Oh. This is dumb, then. I don't know. It's like, it's that Tom Cruise movie where they're going to, they're fighter pilots, and they go to this, like, expert training course to find out who's, like, the best of the best. And if you really look at it, it's such an 80s movie. Like, there's, like, that shadow sex scene with, like, bow, wow, 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 like, that shit. But, like, at the end, they actually shoot at some, like, they get involved. I forget where I think they're, like, Chinese. But there's, like, a fight scene at the end with these fighters. And I used to watch it when I was a kid, like, 10 times in a row. And it's, like, 50 minutes long. And we could watch it as long as we turn the sound off. Because they say, like, fuck.
Yeah.
And shit and stuff. So I'm just like, explosions. All right, I'm sorry. Continue.
Yeah, Frozen is probably in one of the top five.
Frozen's great.
But, like, for me, like, as a kid, The Little Mermaid was, like, that was the movie, like, my mom said the tape actually wore out because she would have to just rewind it, and, like, that's more of, like, a sentimental kind of movie. I love that. Forrest Gump, I think, is going to be in one of those. I love that movie.
Forrest Gump's amazing.
Yeah. I just think it's, like, an awesome movie. How many is that? Is that 4?
You're pretty close. You can do one more if you want. If you got one.
Trying to think. Well, this is like a pretty good movie. We watched it. I introduced you to it. The Shining.
Oh, that's great.
I love that movie. I mean, it's kind of old in the sense of like, it doesn't really like it's not like the modern day horrors with like the jump scares and like the.
But I like that.
But I like that it's more eerie.
Yeah.
You know, it's more like you watch it and you're like, okay, this is weird. Like the scene with the old lady. That's just. Like, and when he just loses it with the bat.
Wendy, give me the bat. I wanted so bad we were going to do that for Halloween. I was going to be Jack and you were going to be Wendy. I
couldn't find that overall dress. That was all.
Yeah, and I put zero effort in as well.
And we had the party like the next day and we were like, nope, fuck this. Like,
remember I showed up with no costume?
Yeah, I was just showing Phoebe a picture from like when I was Wonder Woman. I was like, look at Case, he has no costume on. Like it's just me all decked out and you're just like
I was that guy at the party. I felt pretty silly. But whatever, it was just us.
We went out on actually Halloween though, right?
Yeah, we went out the next day and then we did we did the Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Clark Kent and Wonder Woman.
There was like 10 of us.
I told you that there was going to be like at least 15 Clark Kents and you didn't believe me.
That costume I had was awesome, so I didn't care.
Yours was really cool. There was like 3 Wonder Womans, but I was like, really? Because I really, like, you know this, I hate cliches. Mm-hmm. So when you were like, I want to be Wonder Woman, you should be Clark Kent, I was like, really?
Like, I didn't really care about what you were going to be. I was just like, I'm being Wonder Woman, so like you...
I like the idea of like the duo costume, and it was the first time that I was going to get to do that. Mm-hmm. So I was excited to do something, but I was like, really? I'm going to do Clark Kent? Like, there were so many there. There were so many. I wasn't even the best. I don't even think I was like the 3rd best.
I liked yours because I got to dye your hair black. That was fun.
That was fun. Dyeing the hair. That shit was so cool.
Just like spraying like all over Nicole's bathroom.
Yeah.
Probably like ruined a towel. Like.
Oh, definitely. And then the pillow when I laid down in the morning, I was like, okay, we'll just flip this over.
Like, all right, we're leaving now.
Bye. Yeah, it was fun.
She never said anything about it, so I'm sorry, Nicole, if you're listening.
Why would you? Please do not tell your friends that I have a podcast.
They know that you have a podcast.
Oh, all right, whatever. Cool. So I know that this isn't going to be as big of a thing with you as it would be with like one of my friends, because obviously like we have a podcast about gaming.
Yeah.
So, but you know, it'd be fun just to ask. Mm-hmm. I'm sure that's very short. Don't worry about any of that. But can you talk about your gaming history?
I played some video games when I was younger because I had my cousin that I was like really close with. I think it was N64. This was like bringing it back to the 90s. I used to play Donkey Kong, Earthworm Jim. Do you know that one?
Oh, that was the shit.
I love that where you go through the thing and there's the tires. You bounce.
You just like pivot on the hip and.
My uncle had one too. My uncle Chris, like he's like a lot younger, so he still lived with my grandma when I was like 8. He was only like in his early 20s maybe. Mm-hmm. So I used to play like he had like boxing games and like stuff like that, and then other than that, I never had like my own like video game system and stuff. But I started playing The Sims when I was maybe in middle school, and I was like obsessed with that for a while.
Cheat codes?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to.
You have to, or else you don't get the nice house.
Yep.
And then I used to play like stupid like online games, like nothing major. And then I tried playing League for a while, and I was pretty bad at it. So I wasn't horrible, but
no. I wouldn't feel bad about that. Like, no,
I was alright.
The learning curve on that it's so ridiculous. And I remember one day you actually came over here and you had your laptop open. And
that was fun.
It was fun.
That's when I was Karma and I was good.
Yeah, that was like a lot of fun. Like we were playing bots and stuff, and it was like this is fun. I get to try out new stuff. You're here, like we're talking to each other about whatever. But like for real, that game is the gayest thing. Like, I
I like
heard
how you went
myself
from-
explaining this to you.
Yeah.
I heard, like, I was explaining the game, and I'm like, I remember I was trying to show you what jungling was, and I was like, go over here and smite the Gromp, and I was like, come on, come on.
What are we talking about?
What the fuck? Like, at least name it something that I don't feel that stupid. Explain, you know?
Yeah.
I realized, like, when I was, ever since SOCOM, I got into playing games online and shit, and there would always be, if you got like 6 guys together to play, there was usually there's like different types of gamers. There's like the one that yells.
Yeah.
And there's like the guy that's like, we're gonna go professional, like we gotta make our team, we gotta be all, specific. And then there's like the guy with like his girlfriend in the room, or like the guy that gets his girlfriend to play or whatever. And when I realized that I was that guy, I was like, I'm the nerdiest fucking person ever. I'm so obsessed with League.
I mean, it's like a fun game. I just think I'm not like as into it as most people would be, and it's like so involved. Like, I get the logistics of it, like the basics, but it's just some people, like, when I try to play real games, they would like scream at me, and I'm like, all right, like, this is a fucking video game. Like, I'm not, like I'm on my computer, like, playing, and they'd be like, you didn't go down, bot. What are you? I'm like, all right, no.
All right, no, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did you ever tell one of them off?
I was always really nice.
Uh-huh.
Like, I mean, what? Oh, something. I didn't know something. People always. I mean, I was always like really nice, and I would chat with people, and I would like play a game, and people like I'd get like 5 friend requests, and I'd be like, why? Like, I didn't even really say anything, but I wasn't really mean. No, I don't think I really told anyone off.
Okay.
Why, you like doing that?
Oh, that's like a third of the game. That's like the best part. I play with this dude from work. He got me into it, and whenever we talk about getting better, he always kind of puts it in the way of like, you shouldn't yell at your teammates because then people spend the whole game typing, and I'm like, but that's the fun. Like fun. That's the fun part.
I think it was fun, like watching people fight, but I'm just.
Oh, that's when two random people just like go off.
Remember one time we played and like you said something like, "Can you guys like, hey, can you guys just stop sucking?" And like 3 people quit, and it was like me and you. Like we just like surrendered.
You guys really need to stop sucking if we're gonna win this game.
Can you guys try stopping at sucking? And then it was like this person disconnected. This person was like, all right, oh, you pissed those people off. now we lost. So like, I think we were losing like anyway. Wasn't it like the other people had like really?
I don't know.
It was something.
It doesn't matter. It
was like 3 versus 5, and like
after they left.
Yeah, it was just bad.
Who's your favorite character? I mean, you don't play anymore, and neither I haven't played in a long time, but who was?
I really liked Karma. Well, I liked Katarina for a while, and then I kind of started liking Karma because I don't know, she was just a little more, like, she was more of support, but she had more power almost, where Katarina was like, she could go in and kill people, but, I don't know, it was kind of hard to defend yourself almost, right?
Yeah, because you have to get right in the brunt of everything.
Yeah, like, if you could use her ult, she was like amazing, but like in the beginning, if she didn't have anything yet, it was kind of like she could just really die hard. Like really fast.
Yeah, you kind of have to like farm to 6. I was trying to. That's why I was like, yeah, you can play Annie. Like she's strong the whole time, pretty much. I mean, she doesn't get to become like a killing machine like Kat because she's designed. But whatever, that's enough about.
I mostly played bots anyway, so I don't like.
Still fun. Yeah. Still fun. It depends on what you want.
I'll go back one day. I haven't touched my computer. My computer is like so slow now.
Did you think that you got viruses from League?
Yeah. My computer was okay, and then all of a sudden I started getting League, and it was like I can't even go on like the internet. So it's just my computer has been shut for like 3 weeks now. I don't even bother. Like that little like lamb is like sitting on top of it.
Oh, so blessed.
Yeah. It's been sitting on it for like 2 weeks. I'm like, oh well.
All right. So we got gaming. Okay, so last weekend, we went out and we were hanging out at. Oh, I have to talk about that bar.
Molly's?
Yeah, so you took me to Molly's to hang out with one of your friends, and that is the weirdest fucking place I've ever. I don't know.
It's weird on Saturdays because that's the night that they have the band. If you go on, like, well, I don't really, like, go out anymore, but, like, when I used to go out, if you go on Thursday, that's like college night. So they had like a DJ and it was like all like, modern day songs and like college crowd.
Mm-hmm.
And then Fridays was like more of a young crowd. But Saturday, because I feel like they have bands, it attracts like between like 21 and like 65.
It was
like,
crazy.
It's like the weirdest age gap. Like my parents and like my younger cousins could all be there at the same time. Like it's just so strange.
It was the weirdest thing. We went in. There was, when we went to that bar around the side,
Yeah.
there was what looked to be 17-year-old nerds sitting at a table drinking beer. Then we went over by where the band was playing, and there was 60-year-old dudes in suits.
Mm-hmm.
There was a Rastafarian man in a sports jacket.
That.
The guy with the dreads. You don't remember the dude
No.
with the dreads? Oh.
I drank a little too much beer then.
Yeah, there was the dude with the dreads. There was a fucking Hell's Angel.
I remember him, yeah.
That was crazy.
One, though. Like one
Hell's
solitary,
Angel.
yeah.
I think he was joking. Not joking. I think
Maybe
he
took
was
like
bullshitting.
his dad's like old jacket out or something. Like, I want to meet some girls tonight. Let's take this out of the closet.
They'll all think I'm in Sons of Anarchy. That's cool, right? Season finale. There was that. You had the Hell's Angel. You had some fucking dude dressed up like he was from the gang that they race against in Greece.
There was? I don't remember. Oh,
60s jacket man, like running around putting like 60s songs like Pussycat and like whatever the fuck else, like Elvis and shit on the jukebox. And I was like, where the fuck? I was like, get me a picture with 60s guy. Like, what is that? Like, this is, it's the weirdest place I've ever been.
Yeah. That's why I don't really go there much. Like, I used to, and it's just now it's like, it's too weird.
And then I felt bad because I was just talking about electronic music with your friend.
That's fine.
The whole night.
I was kind of drunk, so.
But so there was that. But then you woke up in the morning, little bit hungover.
Yeah.
And then we did what any normal, healthy, well-adjusted 20-something couple did, or would do. We looked up porn bloopers online for about an hour.
I don't even know how that came about. Like, what were we talking about?
You were like really giggly or something, and I was enjoying making you laugh. So I was like, "You need to see this." But you got all the classics. You got the orgy with the guy running up behind the girl and nutting in her hair, and then she starts crying and leaves. You got the what the fuck was it? You got the the girl doing the butt plug.
That was so weird.
Takes it out and the little nugget of poop falls out. And she was ashamed so instantly, just like going from trying to be sexy to like, oh my god, I realized the error of my life choices.
Like, not only did it happen, but it happened like on camera. Like
it's on the internet.
Yeah,
her face is associated with that for the rest of the time.
You can never deny that.
You can't escape it.
And it wasn't even just like the body. It was like, no, your whole face.
Yeah, your face and everything. She looked at the camera like, and there was your personal favorite. There was the girl tonguing the man's asshole in a crowded room, and he farted in her throat, and then she goes, "You asshole!" Slaps him and storms out.
And the guy's laughing the entire time.
Oh, of course. How could you not? Like, so he's cracking up, and you're dying. Like, you are. We rewound that like 3 times, right? So that led me to Google. Oh fuck! Can you get the email?
Yeah.
So that led me.
I have it upstairs.
Oh no! Fuck!
I didn't bring my phone down.
Okay.
We're back.
We're back. I had to pause that to get our little prop. Where was I?
We're talking about.
Oh, so I googled.
Yeah.
I googled like porn fart blooper.
We get kind of immature sometimes, and we laugh about like
all the time.
Farts.
Yeah, like a lot.
We're 10 years old, so I don't know how it came. We're like, oh, like, do you think? I think I said like, do you think anyone ever farts in porn? And you were like, are you kidding me? Like that's gotta be.
Of course, yeah. So we googled that, and we found a video clip of the great Mistress Stormy. And it was basically, she has a couple of these different videos that are horrendous. Just
Like you can't believe like a human being would actually like record
would do this and like more than once.
Mm-hmm.
Insane.
There's like hundreds. Like she has her own website.
That's disgusting. But so
you guys don't even know what it's about yet.
Yeah, that's terrible. So it's this like 45-year-old white woman with this gigantic, disgusting ass.
But it's like it's big, but it's like not like nice big. It's like
it's just
gross. Like craters.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. The cottage cheese thing
like
going
not
on.
like Jennifer Lopez. Like it's like okay, you're just big. Like yeah.
And the meat and potatoes of what she does on these videos is there's roughly a 65-year-old balding man that lays on his back.
This poor fucking guy.
Yeah. His face is on camera.
But he agrees to do this, so he's not. I don't feel bad for him.
I picture like them calling each other up on a Saturday night, like, "Yep, usual, same time, same spot. All right, cool." And like every Saturday, he and Mistress Stormy get together. He lies on his back, and she sits on his face.
Like he's on his back, and she's like facing like his feet, like kneeling, like squatting over his head,
right on his fucking face,
on his mouth,
his mouth, yeah. And this guy is going like, you're killing me. Like that. It's like over and over again.
But like the way his voice is muffled is because she's literally sitting on his mouth.
Yeah.
Like he can't, and she even says stuff like, "Oh, I'll give you a moment to breathe."
To breathe, like leans forward.
Like, this guy's gonna have a heart attack at any moment.
Yeah,
like he can't even.
He's gonna go, "All right, I'll let you breathe."
It's like
Bert? Yeah. Bert? 1,000. Do it, Bert. And then the dude's missing like his pinky and ring finger on his right hand. Like
what happened to you to put you at this point in your life? Like,
what is the story of that guy? Like,
do you get paid to do this?
I don't fucking. Maybe they have like a Patreon or something where they get donations for. But and then she'll like fart in his fucking face, like
literally, like I've never seen this. Like, is this a fetish that like I don't know? Like she'll fart like in his nose, like that's disgusting. Like why?
She's like, yeah, you're gonna take that all in, breathe it in deep. It's going
and
right.
He goes, oh, you're killing me.
Come on, you're killing me. And it's like the craziest thing.
It's just like, do people actually like watch this like to?
There's no way that anybody is like turned on. There's no fucking way.
There was a lot of views. I mean, I don't know.
It has to. All of their views have to come from people like us, like just watching it, like laughing your fucking asses off. Yeah. So luckily for us, her email address
flash over the screen like 5 times.
Like in the middle of like her farting on the old guy. It just comes up.
Email me, Mr.
Stormy@gmail.com. I encourage you all to email her. I did.
Like, what would she want people to write?
I know. Could you fart on that guy's face in like a blue thong? Like. So I had to email her, which I would like to read for everybody right now. The subject line is "Big fan."
So it's deceiving.
Yeah. And someone actually brought to my attention that it kind of shows my name right there. But I was wondering that. I think for her, she would read it as White Dude Down, and I get to see my name because...
I was wondering, because I wanted to see, like, if you're... Like, I know my name will say, like... Well, mine's obviously my full name, but in parentheses it'll say, like, Ashley Getz. So I'm like, I wonder if, like, his says, you know, your name... Like, I hope... But who cares?
Anyway. Yeah, but so I sent her this email. So the subject is Big Fan. All right. Hello, my name is Chad, and after I lost my ass bone in the Second Iraq War, I thought I would never be able to achieve an erection again. However,
like, what the hell to do with your ass bone? Like the two are not related whatsoever.
The email goes on. However, after countless surgeries and taking a steady cocktail of drugs daily, my life returned to normal. Then I watched one of your face-sitting videos. Watching you subject that learning disabled old man to horrors and smells I cannot fathom, even after serving 3 tours in the Marines, has begun to cause me nightmares. That was 73 days, 6 hours, and 17 minutes ago. Since that faithful and tragic day, my penis has been useless. And on the bad days, it even recedes up into my body.
That's my favorite part. Like it just goes like back up. Like,
just the whole thing, yeah. Just somebody. I do not know if I will ever recover, and I have started a Kickstarter project to have you removed from the internet. Fuck you, die soon. Yours truly, Chad. So,
oh my god.
Mr. Stormy has yet to reply, but if she does, I will involve you all in the story as it develops.
I wish we could see like if there's a way whether she read it or not. You know, like,
I would if it was like a Facebook message or
yeah,
something
like
where
if
you
you could like
see
see
that.
like, oh, okay, she read it, but she did not answer.
I mean, you never know.
She's gotta get weird. I mean, like you put your email address out there. What do you want?
With your fucking ass sitting on some dude's face, like what are you
Farting.
expecting? You're not
just-
gonna get a lot of fan mail.
Like, what do you think like her choices in life were to like lead up to that? Like what, you know?
Fuck the face sitting videos. I want a documentary on her life, on how it got to there.
That's what I mean. It's like what choices did you make that led you to this? Like, you make videos on the internet sitting on some. Is that her boyfriend? Like who is that? Her husband? Like he has to be 20 years older than her. He's an old dude. Like. It's not like a young guy, you know? It's so weird. And it's clearly homemade. It's in the same bedroom. Like,
Yeah, every
you can
time,
tell it's
yeah.
like a tripod she like put on her, you know, like it's
With a
embarrassing.
GoPro.
Yeah.
Later on, they'll have the head harness with the GoPro right on the old guy's
my
forehead,
God.
so you can get right
Ew.
over there. You can see
poor
like his
guy.
hair move when she shits or farts on him. I mean,
Like how does that not make you sick? Like that just I don't understand.
I don't
What
know.
does he get out of it, you know?
Just,
Fart
I guess
face?
just the fame. Just the yeah. Take that, fart bitch. That was the best line. All right, so that was disgusting, but it needed to be said.
Everyone's like, alright, you guys are strange. This is what you do on your weekends.
Do you remember how we met?
Yes. I went to the Hatch with my friend Jess. It was a couple summers ago. I think like 2013. Probably like late, like summer, like August. We went there for dinner and then we ended up just staying like the whole night. So like clearly we got like kind of drunk. But I knew, and then I saw my friend Michelle that I knew from my other friend. So I feel like I was hanging out with Jess and I saw Michelle and then like you, I don't remember how, but like you and Greg came over. Because your friend Greg was dating Michelle that was my friend. And then we just started, like, talking. Apparently there's, like, stories that, like, me and you were talking that I don't really remember. What were we I don't even remember what we talked about. Like,
Must
just
have been good.
Yeah.
Must have been good.
Random things. And then we got each other's numbers.
I was like, you want to go make out in the parking lot?
I don't remember that.
The dumbest fucking thing I've ever said in my entire life.
And apparently I said no.
No, I'm okay.
Like, was I rude? Like, what did I... Was I just
No,
like,
you
no.
can't. I don't think that you can answer that question and you be considered the rude one.
Yeah.
I think that was all me. Do you want to tell? I'm not gonna be able to tell those stories, but do you want to tell that
Oh,
one?
yeah.
And do you remember the condition that I was in when I was like, "You're my girlfriend"?
Yeah.
You want to tell those
Which
two?
one first? The
In order.
girlfriend one?
Yeah.
Okay. So we've been, like, dating, like, for, what, like, 3 or 4 months. Like, we started dating in, like, February, but we never really, like, talked about it, because it's, like, this awkward thing this day and age that, like, you think you're seeing someone, but, like, you don't know, you know? Like, it's weird now. Like, I feel like back in the old days, like, people were, like, going steady, or, like, they asked people, like, a specific way, and now it's just, like, you're kind of, like, hanging out, so you don't know if, like, you're really, really...
I hate that.
Yeah. So there was
Do you
a few
feel
months...
like, I don't want to interrupt, but if you finish both the stories, it's not going to be relevant anymore.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you were born in the wrong time?
Oh, all the time. I wish I was born in, like, the 30s, honestly. I wish I grew up, like, in,
The
like...
30s?
Yeah.
Why the 30s? You know that there was a depression going on.
Yeah, but if you were born, by the time you were older, I don't know, I like old.
Alright.
Like, my grandma's age.
Okay.
I don't know. I like the old things, but... So, like... I feel like now it's like you don't know whether you're really together with someone or like you don't really know if, in the beginning if they're with someone else or you're just like hanging out. So there was a few months where we were, like, pretty much hanging out, like, every weekend, like we are now, like, every weekend and, like, during the week and, like, going on dates, obviously, and, like, but it's, like, I didn't, like, I kind of, like, knew, like, okay, we're together, but, like, I didn't know if I could say, like, this is my boyfriend, because then what if, like, you didn't think that, and then it's, like, oh, okay, I'm introducing this as my boyfriend, and, like, you just have to be more, like, I don't know, I hate the way things are now, like, I hate this generation, like, so, it was, like, a few months after we were, like, dating, and I think we were gonna go out to Outback. We, like, made reservations, and we were like, oh, we're gonna go out to, like, Outback Steakhouse, and, like, I called. So you're like, okay, like, come over at this time, and, like, I got all ready. So I came over, and, like, I think, like, on the way there, because it takes me, like, what, like, 20-25 minutes if I drive, like, fast enough. You were like, oh, like, I'm not feeling good. And I was like, dude, I'm already on the way there. Like, I'm not, you know, like, I don't live, like, around the, like, corner. So I was like, I'm coming to your house. Like, I'm not going to go back home. Like, so you're like, okay. Like, you know, I'm just letting you know, like, I don't feel good. And I was like, oh, my God. Like, what happened in, like, the hour that I was just talking to you, you know? So I get over, and he's laying on the bed, like, pitch black, hand over face, like, just, like, completely dead. And he, like, I guess you had, like, a cigar outside or something?
Yeah, I smoked a cigar outside, and, like, the whole time the smoke was blowing in my eyes,
Mm-hmm.
and, like, just all in my face, and, like, I couldn't get the wind to not be on me. And it's happened to me a couple times, but it was just, like, way too much tobacco.
Yeah, that's happened to my dad, I've told you. Like, I guess if you do it too quickly, like, if you smoke the cigar, remember the other time it happened? You smoked it too quick, and it just makes you feel weird.
Yeah.
So I get there, and he's, like, hand over eye, like, laying pitch black, and I'm like, you know, should I call Outback and say, like, we're not coming? So I think I actually have to call and make, like, a new reservation and be like, you know, we're coming 2 hours later. So I'm laying there, and I'm like, you know, like, I kind of want to go out to dinner, but then, like, I feel bad for you, obviously, so I'm like, whatever happens if we don't go out, if I just, like, I was kind of hoping you didn't, like, throw up and, like, shit your pants or something, because I was like, I'm gonna have to drive home now. So then we're laying there in, like, complete silence after a while, and I think I kept trying to talk to you, and you were like, I don't want to talk right now, like, I don't feel good, and I was like, okay. And then, like, out of nowhere, you're just like, so, like, this is kind of an odd time to ask a question like this, and I was like, oh my God, like, what is he gonna say? Like, you know, I'm, like, an anxious person, so I just get paranoid and think of, like, the worst, like, possible outcome. I'm like, what? And you're like, so, I can, like, call you my girlfriend, right? And I was like, yeah! And we were like, okay. And then I think we just laid there, like, for 10 more minutes, like, not talking.
Yeah, it was like a long
time. And I was like,
time.
I kind of thought we were, and you were like, me too. I just wanted to, like, clarify. I was like, alright, well, now I can tell people you're my boyfriend, because I kind of already thought you were for, like, 3 months, like... But you never know these days, you know? You don't know if you can, like, trust people. And then, so we were, like, dating, like, before that, and then we, like, it was a few more months later, and, like, I knew that, like, I, like, loved you, but I, like, was, like, you know, I've been, like, hurt before, and, like, you never want to be, like, the first one to say anything and stuff, so I was, like, I know I think this, but, like, I always tend to think, like, I'm just gonna pretend people don't like me, kind of thing, like, almost like a defense mechanism, like, I don't want to admit that I'm vulnerable, so, like, I'm just gonna pretend that, like, I'm, like, hit it, like, you know, like, whatever, like, take it or leave it.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought this for, like, a while, but I was like, you know, I'm not going to be the first one to say anything or whatever, but I like, thought the same thing. So then it was, like, one weekend, like, we hung out, like, Saturday night, and we were hanging out the next Sunday, just being, like, we were, like, kind of, like, funny in the morning and stuff. When I don't know why, we're just, like, in, like, a weird mood. So we were, like, playing, like, weird games, and we were, like, oh, you know that game from when you're little where you, like, write, like, a letter on someone's back and, like, guess the word or guess a letter?
Like trace it with your finger.
Yeah, like you trace with your finger, like,
skin with your eyes
the
closed.
letter A, and then the person has to, like, figure out, like, oh, A, and, or you could do words or, like, sentences or anything. I don't remember, I think I might have made the game up, so that's what makes this even, like, more spontaneous, because I think I said, like, do you want to, like, trace letters? So we were writing, like, really dumb things, like, didn't we write, what was the thing that we wrote that, like, do you remember what it was?
No.
Like, one of us wrote something really dumb, and we were, like, laughing. I wish I could remember what it was. We were, like, laughing. So then it was your turn. So you started writing, like, I
did something else. You went, and then I went, and then you went, and then I went this time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you started writing, like, I And didn't I guess wrong? And I was like, I look, and like we were
You just went like,
yeah, like I didn't know, like it was like ILO, and I was like, oh my god, like is he gonna say that? But like I was like, no, like don't get your hopes up, like just like maybe that's not it. And I was like, but what else would it be? Like all these thoughts are happening like in like 5 seconds. So it was like ILO, and I was like I look, and like I like stuttered, so we started laughing really hard, and then he was like, all right, I have to go to the bathroom. And he walked away, so I was like, oh, like stupid me is like, all right. So I'm like looking at my email, like thinking nothing of this. So I'm like, okay, like blah blah blah. And so then you came back and you were like, okay, want to play the game again? And I was like, okay.
I went
like,
downstairs and I did that thing from every movie ever made where the guy like looks into the mirror like getting psyched up, because I don't say stuff like that often. Nothing like. So I'm sorry. Continue.
So I was like, okay, like sure, I'll play the game. So then like you traced out. I think you just traced out like the whole thing like I love you, and I was like, oh my god. Like, it was, like, the cutest thing ever. And I was like, I love you, too. And we were, like, hugging. And, like, it was so cute. Like, I've never had anything that cute, Like, that, like, it was, like, out of, like, a movie almost. Like, not planned. And it was not planned. You couldn't have planned it.
No.
Because I made up the idea and I didn't have that in mind. Like, I wasn't going to say it first, So it was like, oh, let's play a little game. So it's like, you thought of that, like, that fast, like a cute way to, like, I'll never forget that.
That was my out.
And I told my friend, and she like had tears in her eyes, and I was like, I didn't even cry when he did it to me. Like, why are you crying? But yeah, that was like probably one of the best things. It's cute.
Do you have? I always feel like really vain and silly asking this question, but I think I've done it to pretty much everyone. Do you have a favorite Whitey D story?
I know I do. What is my favorite story? There's so many.
Well.
I'm trying to think of something good. What is it? This is hard.
All right.
Talk about something else, and then I'll try to think about it. Well,
do you remember when we went to Stop and Shop? We were what did that woman do that I?
The one that you did the face?
Yeah, what did she do?
I think, like, we were coming, like, we were at a stop sign, and, like, I think we might have, like, no one was coming, and we started going, and then she, like, came out of nowhere and cut you off, or it was something like she cut you off, yeah.
I think she had, no, because there wouldn't be a stop sign in a parking lot. I think I was going straight, where it was, like, I'm on, like, the main, it's like a parking lot, so there's no real main road, but, like, there's a main thoroughfare of traffic, like, she had to make a left.
Yeah.
And I think that she just like went, like didn't stop when she got to the cross thing and like just went. So then I get up next to her. I'm in the truck, so we're up high, and she's in like an SUV, so I'm parallel. And I kind of had you tell us like how far away from the car in front of me I was. And I rolled down the window, and rather than like flip somebody, because like people are used to that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think I honked my horn at her first, right? Like I gave her like a quick one when I almost hit her. And then I got up alongside of her, rolled down the window, and I turned to her and gave her like my big, like closed eye, big ass smile with like the thumbs up. And I held it at her. Like we were at that stop sign for like 15 seconds, right? And I just held it just like that.
Like
I don't have any video.
Open,
I don't know. Like... Yeah. Just full, like, big toothy...
Like, I wish, like, you could see the face, because I was, like...
Yeah, like, toothy smile. God. Just holding it next to this woman, and she's just, like, she keeps, like, double-taking at me and stuff.
That was hilarious.
I like that one. I felt good doing that. That's a way of letting somebody know that they're being an asshole, that they're not... You know what I mean? Like, people just like, brush off.
Like, can you imagine just turning to your, like, side and just someone being, like...
That just honked at you and is clearly upset. Yeah, like what is this guy doing? Just staring at him like the whole time.
And it was like long enough for her to like be like,
what okay,
the like that? He's not. And, like you didn't even break character.
No,
like, you were
not
just,
what,
like,
not even a little bit. Yeah. And then you finally had to be like, okay, it's a green, like we're going. And then I stayed next to her through the green light.
All right, I'm trying to think of a good story. Well, this is just the one that comes to mind. That's kind of like a joke that we kind of have now. This probably isn't my favorite one, but, like, it's just, like, the first one I could think of. So, sometimes when, like, when you drink, like, you just kind of forget, certain things.
Oh, come on.
That was funny. So there was one time when, like, I think you just drank and you were, like, overtired or something. So, like, I had one beer this night. Like, I was, like, not drunk at all. And, like, you kept getting up to, like, either go get food or go to the bathroom. And every time you'd get to the door, you'd be like, so, can you do the voice, like, you need anything?
Yeah, I was a little bit wasted. I had just started my new medicine, and it's really changing the way that alcohol interacts.
Yeah.
I generally try not to get like this, but I would just be like, every single time I went to the door, I'd be like, oh, do you need anything?
And it
Or
would be
whatever.
like you'd ask me if I need anything, talk for a few minutes, and then be like, so you
Completely
need
forget that I
anything?
had said anything.
Yeah, and I'd be like,
You
I'm
need anything?
fine, like, thanks, like, I had water, like, I'm not, I had, like, one beer, so I'm like, I'm not drunk at all, and it was just so funny, and then you'd come back in the room,
And then, oh, I should have asked you if you needed
you need
anything.
anything?
You want anything
And
from
then
the
I
kitchen?
was, like, like, trying not to laugh at you, but, like, I was, like, laughing at you, and then you'd be like, what? Do you need anything? Like, just, like, over and over, like, so now it's become, like, a running joke, like, whenever I'm here, like, you'll just stand at the door and be like, oh, do you need anything? Like, I mean, it's, like, funny, because it's, like, you're trying to be nice, but it's, like, it would be literally, like, a 10-second time span, and be like, okay, do you need anything? Do you need anything? Like, you couldn't even remember, like...
Yeah, I don't know. That was weird.
That
I don't like that feeling, but I'm sure
It's
that
funny.
was. And then I think was that the night that I cried explaining the premise.
Yeah.
I was explaining the plot of one of my personal favorite movies, Stranger Than Fiction, with Will Ferrell, and I was explaining. I was like as I'm talking, I'm like
this
I'm
was the night
getting
I wasn't
choked
drunk at
up.
all, so
Yeah,
I'm like just sitting here
you're
like,
just sitting there like, what
okay.
the fuck is happening?
Yeah.
As I'm explaining, like, and then he goes and he finds her and he gets a copy of the book that she's been writing about him, and it's in the book like he's got to die. Like the guy, he gives it. He can't read it because it's got his life in there, and he gives it to Dustin Hoffman, and then Dustin Hoffman looks him in the face like Romeo and Juliet is more important than I'll ever be, and I'm a real person. So he gives it to Dustin Hoffman, and Dustin Hoffman looks him in the face. He's like, you have to die, or it's no good. And like I'm just
Like I was just like nodding, like
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
I think I was like rubbing your back, like all right.
That was so,
I think I just kept saying like it sounds like a good movie like 5 times. Like I was like
so fucking embarrassed. I don't know
oh my
what
God.
the fuck was going on with me, and then I like left. I had to like leave the room for like 15
yeah,
minutes.
yeah. I think he just like disappeared, and I was like, where did he go? Like, is he like in the bathroom? Oh my God.
So this has been a little. Well, I guess it got a little personal. I try to ask people how they really feel about stuff. Any groups of people that you really hate?
I mean, I hate most people. I'm not a big people person. I've always been really shy from the time I was a little kid. My mom tells me stories of how, like, I would have on, like, a pretty, cute little girl dress, and people would come up to me, oh my God, Ashley, I love your dress. And I would be like, go away! Like, don't talk to me! And she was like, Ashley, be friendly. Like, and I think I've just always been, like, a misanthrope, it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of an introvert. I like groups of people, but I like smaller, like, I've always just had, like, a few close friends, and I guess just people in general, just a lot, like, any specific group, loud people. I don't like loud
fuck
people.
Them.
Like, I'm not a loud person. I've never had a loud speaking voice. I mean, I guess I can get loud, like, in certain situations, like laughing or whatever, but I don't like people that talk loud and just obnoxious. Like, I'm just a quiet, like, to myself kind of person, so I think it's just, like, the opposite of me, and that's just why I don't like loud people.
Do you tend to think the worst of people?
Yeah. Yeah.
Takes a while for people to earn your trust.
Yeah. I think I'm more of, like, a pessimist, and I kind of, like, hate, like, there's been a lot of people, like, there's this girl I work with, and when I started working with her, I hated her, like, could not stand her. I thought she was like a know-it-all, and now we're like best friends. So I think I kind of don't. I give people like the worst. Not the benefit of the doubt, whatever the opposite of that would be. Like, I don't like people, and then it's like, okay, this person's actually cool.
You assume the worst.
Yeah. Because it's like that. That's what I'm like with most people. Like, I don't really like them, and then they kind of grow on me. I mean, there's people that I do like, but
You just said something that's really interesting because you actually admitted to being a pessimist.
yeah.
And a lot of people...
I think I am, definitely.
Do you remember when you learned about optimist and pessimist?
I remember, like, the whole, like, glass half full analogy thing.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, maybe, like, middle
Was it in
school?
school? Yeah, but they told you about it in school, right?
Yeah.
The way that they present... This is basically the way that I would define optimist versus pessimist,
Mm-hmm.
is that an optimist, when you think about anything, any kind of a thought, that sounds redundant, but
yeah,
you start with the positive and work your way backwards.
Yeah.
Whereas a pessimist, if someone were to tell me about a plan that they had, my first thought is, how can that go wrong?
Mm-hmm.
And there is nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm.
But in school, they presented it to you as...
You have to think positive and...
What the fuck is that? How can you teach people that?
I don't know.
And then you get all these fucking kids that get dominated by loans and shit like that don't...
Like me?
Well, yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, you have a generation of people that were told... Not that there's two different types of thinking, but that you should... One is inherently better than the other, and that is not true. And I've talked to people where I've been talking to them, and I've been like, okay, they have a clear head. Like, they're not thinking that they're not assuming the best no matter what, like with this big smile on their face. Not like they're a cynic or anything, but they are more clearly...
Like maybe not realistic, but more... I don't know what the word is.
I think realistic is pretty close to it. Yeah. You gotta like
assuming the good and the bad, but just more of the bad. The way that I think of things that I've like is kind of weird to explain, but I feel like if I'm a big worrier, like I just have anxiety and I worry and stress over things. So like I feel like if I worry and assume the worst, then if the worst happens, it's like, well, you already prepared it. Yeah. But then if good things happen, it's like, well, hey, it's better than what you worried about.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like either what you happened or what you thought was going to happen, happened, or it was better.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather be like that than be thinking like, oh, everything's going to be perfect, and then something bad happens, and it's like, oh, I didn't even think about that,
Yeah, naivete.
Naivety. How do you say that word?
No, there's something...
Naivety?
There's...
Naive?
Stag. There's... I feel like naivete. I've heard naivete.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's like the French way of saying it or whatever. Yeah. Like you know what I mean? Like the pompous. But I feel like that is associated with optimism, is like, if you believe that this is the best car, you're getting the best loan rate, and you just assume whatever somebody's telling you at face value, and the thought doesn't really cross your mind that they might be, like, misleading you, like, that can be a bad, I mean, obviously there's all the way one way and all the way the other way, and you kind of want to be somewhere towards the middle. Otherwise, you get, like, real bad, like, the paranoia and stuff associated with pessimism and shit like that. But I really don't like the way that they taught people that. And I've talked to people that were clearly pessimists, and they were, like, took it as if I was insulting them when I said that. And I don't think that's right.
No. I just think there's two different kinds of people, and some people are more positive thinking, and some people aren't. And it's not like, you never know what's going to happen, so it's not like one person is right.
Mm-hmm.
So one person could think something was going to be good and end up bad, or the opposite. It's not like nobody knows really what's going to end up happening, so it's just how you view it. And I've just always been more, I don't know if it's my personality or what, but I've just always thought of the worst, and then if the best happens, it's like, oh, okay, I'm pleasantly surprised, but I usually think things are going to go badly. I guess that's just who I am. I don't know.
Idealist? Do you consider yourself an idealist?
What exactly is that? Is that like...
There's...
Like, is that kind of like realistically, or...
It's almost exactly the opposite.
Really?
It's like... Okay. It's like... if certain things were done... this is gonna get really preachy. I can feel it. Like I'm trying to think of a way to like describe this without like the thing that I always use is socialism to describe. Like yeah, so not communism, but socialism. Mm-hmm. The idea there is why should a very, very small amount of the population enjoy all of the wealth and such a large number of people live suffering and in squalor. Mm-hmm. And the original idea behind socialism was to create a system with the most even playing field for everybody. And then it was obviously corrupted, and we were taught that this is like inherently evil and the capital, but basically if certain measures were taken, like the golden rule, if everybody treated each other
the way they want to be treated.
Yeah. Unfortunately, all it takes is for one person to figure out that if everybody else is treating you with respect and kindness and dignity, and you don't do that, you can take advantage of them.
Yeah.
And as a very young boy, I was all about this, like, this all makes sense. If certain measures are taken, it works out for everybody. You hold the door open, whatever it might be, from very, very small to very, very large. Mm-hmm. And then as I'm growing into adulthood, you find that like, people will take credit for your actions if they can. And
just because you're nice to someone does not mean they're going to treat you the same way back. Yeah.
Exactly. And I feel like that's where a lot of my cynicism comes from. Mm. Do you feel like you have the same problem? Have you thought about it at all?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Like, I think, like, for me, like, it was, like, more of high school. Like, that's when I kind of started getting that almost, like, bit... Like, I mean, how I was saying when I was a little kid, like, I never really liked people, and I was always shy and more to myself. But, like, I think it was, like, more in high school age when I started realizing, like, I always had a few close friends, but I was never in, like, the big popular crowd and never, like, a huge partier. So that was when I kind of maintained that, like, I don't like people and, like, the general people. Like, if I'm nice to these people and people aren't nice back, you kind of become more, like, cynical almost. And then, I got into college and became a little more outgoing, but I still kind of kept that main thought, like, I don't know. It's like I could be nice to people and they're not going to do the same thing back, so what's the point? Mm-hmm. It's just, I don't know.
I think it was, this is going to sound really preachy again, but I think it was George Carlin that said, if you scratch the surface of a disappointed idealist, you'll find a cynic.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of it comes from.
I think that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I mean, you want to have this good idea of everything being like, treat people the way you're treated, blah, blah. And then it's like, when it doesn't work out, it's like, all right, never mind, why am I going to bother?
Never mind. And then, once you've been exposed to, I think even people that I consider very, very close friends, I'll meet people in the real world that have, like, certain characteristics of, people that I used to associate with, and I'll be like, oh my God, like, that's how this person treats me, and I never realized it.
It's like age and experience too that like really brings it out too,
Yeah. Anything that you want to talk about? Kind of putting you on the spot, so it's okay if you don't.
I don't know, not really. I'm excited for it not to be winter anymore. I'm happy that it's starting to rain and snow is melting. It was a pretty bad winter this year, right?
Yeah.
Especially your driveway.
Insane. I mean, I'm gonna miss
like having a spot like that's not.
You can park. Holy
I can
shit,
park back
crazy.
in my old spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna miss snowblowing the driveway a little bit.
Why would you miss that?
I was getting so good at it. The auger control, the turns, all of that stuff. I was getting pretty nice.
I'd rather never have any snow again. Well, no. I like the first few snowfalls, and then, like, last week I was like, nope. It's like almost April. Like,
I'm looking forward to spring. This was fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah.
Are you happy with how this turned out?
Yeah.
All right, cool. At the end, I usually give, like, my Twitter and PlayStation information.
Okay.
If you want a potential for strangers
don't even know my Twitter name has so many random letters in it. I don't even really know it.
All right, well, maybe you can find you through me
Yeah.
if you wanted to. But this has been Palecast, episode 8, featuring BB,
Mm-hmm.
Beebsy the Bee, Beaverella.
That's a new one.
I am Case. Thank you for listening. Let us know what you think in the comments. You guys can follow me on Twitter at WhiteDudeDown. That's also my name on the PSN. I've been streaming Bloodborne a little bit, and I've been playing Battlefield with my friends a lot. So you can check it out on there.
You might find me on there sometimes too.
Yep, yeah, you were in there. You sitting on my back while I was playing.
Like smelling your head.
Be sure to check out the Friends List podcast. It's available on iTunes. I have Android, so I listen to it. I listen to all of them because I'm very vain.
You don't have an iPhone.
Yeah, because I green text.
I was talking to someone at work about that today. I was like, I wish my boyfriend had iMessage because you're the only person I can't text. Like, it'll send like 5 times. Like, can you just get your iPhone back?
All right, I'll try. Yeah, the Friends List podcast available on iTunes. I use Podcast Republic on Android. For the Friends List, Twitter is _Friends List. And we're gonna try and get the podcasts are gonna be both on iTunes as well as we're gonna start putting them up on the YouTube channel. I think there's no reason not to, so you can probably find them right here going forward. And Ashley, would you like to say goodbye?
I had a lot of fun doing this. Maybe I'll have another one sometime.
Why not?
Part 2.
Part 2. Return of BB.
Yeah.
The Quadra BB. BB.
BB returns.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.